Art of Relationship show is copywritten. No one is to use any portion of the show without express written consent from myself, Greg Dazinski, or the Art of Relationships. Thank you.
Welcome to the Art of Relationship show. Greg welcomes live calls from listeners in helping with numerous marital and relationship problems. There will be no more tit-for-tat arguments. Greg gets to the root of couples' challenges in a rapid, matter-of-fact format, plus applies compassion and humor. Join in discovering how to improve your relationship and your own life. Listen, laugh, and climax. Greg is a licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan. To others, he's simply known as Detroit's Love Guru.
Hey, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their week. Everybody is safe out there. And of course, you are feeling more connected emotionally and physically with your partner. And also, what about with yourself? And talking about, with yourself, going to look at orgasms. Everybody's favorite maybe topic, okay? Or maybe everybody's favorite to-do list, if you will, about orgasms. And there's been a lot of stuff out there about orgasms. I got bashed in a women's rights group on Facebook I was invited to, and then got slammed. They said I did not know what the hell I was talking about. Because I was a man. How would I know about vaginas, right? And orgasms. Well, I'm going to clue you in, okay? So, going to talk about orgasms. And everybody, maybe heard of different types of orgasms. And I'm going to get rid of myths, and I'm going to go out there about the truths about probably over the last few years, there's been a lot of scientific data, a lot of scientific research about the root of female orgasms, okay? I'm not going to talk too much about the guys' orgasms. Maybe I could, ways to withstand them, to last a little bit longer, stop and start techniques and stuff like that. But today, I am going to dedicate orgasms about females. And we are going to, I should say I want to hear your take on it. You know what, ladies? What are your favorite ways to orgasm? Okay, you can join the question below. And you know what? Throw out your questions. Throw out your insights. You know what? Do you love orgasms? Do you hate orgasms? You know what? There's a lot of women, unfortunately, because of trauma, being, sexually abused or being raped, there's a, stigma. They feel guilty if they enjoy themselves and they have pleasure from sex anymore. And that's sad and a shame, because I want you to own your sexuality, even if, you endured trauma. And enough of that. We are going to dive, no pun intended, into orgasms, female orgasms. And I want you to tell me if you think you agree, disagree, and I want you to back it up with empirical data. I want you to back it up with scientific fact. And I'm going to talk about, the root of female orgasms. And a lot of people talk about, there are different types of orgasms, okay? There are, we talk about clitoral orgasms, which are generated from the clit, and vaginal orgasms, okay? And I'll get into deep spot orgasms as well. We know G-spot orgasms. And a lot of people maybe think that they are different types of orgasms. And I hate to burst your bubble out there. And for the guys out there that are telling you differently, and for your own self that are telling you differently, they may feel different intensities. Ladies, you all know that. You might depend on your mood, depending, if you're drunk or whatever. You might have different intensities of orgasms, just like men do. However, in different sensations, if it's you think it's based on a G-spot. If it's a deep spot orgasm, vaginal orgasm, clitoral orgasm, of course. But I'm going to tell you, all those so-called orgasms or spots, okay, or, orgasmic specific areas are all generated in the clitoral nerve network. Yes, that's right. They are not different orgasms. They might feel different sensations. They may be, how can I say this? They may feel differently. You might have different intensities. You might like, a different spot to reach that orgasm with more than, say, a deep spot orgasm. But they are all generated through the clitoral network. That's scientific fact, okay? And there are different, it's all based with the clitoral nerve network. And there's a lot of nerves that are tied in the clitoral, right? Most people know that. But they extend throughout the body, believe it or not. In the Mounds area, the vulval area, the genital area, there's a lot of clitoral nerve networks, and they go into the vaginal region. And a lot of women do not orgasm with just vaginal stimulation alone, with, the penis inside of them. And a lot of women, they might reach orgasm that way, but typically it is a sensation of hitting a clitoral nerve network, either hitting a deep spot, which is right in front of the cervix, okay? It's a round little O-ring, and I talked about this before. It's like a little O-ring, if you will, protector in front of the cervix at the end of the vaginal canal. That can be very pleasurable for women, but if it's, pounded, if you will, if it's hit too hard, it can be very, very painful for you ladies if you are familiar with that, okay? And we all know the G-spot, right? The G-spot is, curled up and under, on the roof of the vaginal wall towards the front, right behind above the clit, okay? This is, I don't have to describe the clitoral, where the clit is, hopefully. And there's a clitoral hood. And I talked about the hood, the clitoral shaft, and I talked about this about do you know vagina a few weeks ago. But these are based on the orgasms. The sensations may feel differently, more intense with these areas. And what happens is, but they're all based on the clitoral nerve network. They're all stimulated through the clitoral nerves. You got me? And a lot of people, and there's, some people that reach orgasm through anal sex. Yeah, again, it's tied into the clitoral nerve networks that go through those aspects, okay? And I get in a lot of arguments, and I went through a lot of, unfortunately, women. I want to educate women in the women's rights group that I was invited to comment on. A lot of these women, sadly, they do not know. I'm going to tell you, Greg, you don't know the difference. Well, I'm telling you, this is scientific, evidence, scientific fact, empirically studied evidence by women, by men, by researchers for a long time, okay? fMRI studies, MRI studies, all these studies have been done. Nerve testing, nerve blocks have been huge as far as underlying the root of orgasms. And I get a lot of people, Greg, well, you know what? There's women that don't even have to touch themselves. They can mentally stimulate, give themselves an orgasm, or be stimulated through the breasts and the nipples. Absolutely. Woohoo! You're telling me something I already know. But the nipples and the breasts are stimulated through the clitoral nerve network. Again, it stimulates that through the clitoral nerve network. And it's the same aspect, if you think about it, where, ladies, when you breastfeed, I'm not saying it's pleasant, enjoy it, shape nipples and all this aspect, but when breastfeeding, it helps contract the uterus into its regular size again. How does that happen when your breasts are up here, right? And your uterus is below? They don't touch, they don't do anything, right? They're tied in with all the nerve networks that help contract the uterus. And it's all also tied in, those nerves also tie into your pelvic region, tied into the clitoral nerve network where the orgasms are generated. Just like when there's women that can actually don't even touch themselves, okay? Don't even touch themselves, and they can reach orgasm through visual or guided imagery, we call it, right? They can fantasize so much into giving them an orgasm. Yeah, it's true. And how many women would like to do that, right? It takes a lot of practice for you ladies to be able to do that. And I get, well, how's that clot turned into the nerve network, clitoral nerve network, Greg? That's impossible. No, it isn't. Those visual images, sort of highlight, they enhance, and they arouse the clitoral nerve. Not himself and get a boner, get a hard on, right? Can it be any different than, right, a female having those same aspects? No different, right? what happens in the brain when you are stimulating those, when you are going into those aspects, it stimulates the clitoral nerve network by vision, by guided imagery, by fantasizing in your head, right? Just like a woman might get wet reading a romance novel or watching a porn and don't even have to touch herself. So you're going to tell me, you know what? Oh, it has nothing to do with the clitoral nerve networks, and there are different orgasms. There might be different spots that you can hit and stimulate. Absolutely. But they're all tied into the clit nerve network, people. So when people talk about different avenues and all this G-spot orgasm, deep spot orgasm, clitoral orgasm, vaginal orgasm, right? And there are women that get stimulated and they can have an orgasm through their breast, and with their breast being stimulated. They're all tied in to the clit nerve network, okay? Plain and simple. So, does it matter even, there's a lot of arguments, and does it even matter, I'm looking at, does it even matter where they're generated, or that you just feel good from having an orgasm, people, and what you stimulate. And there's a lot of people out there, oh, I've had this is the best type of orgasm. It might be for you, which is great. I'm not saying it isn't, okay? I want you to, I'm all about women being pleased and being stimulated and enjoying their orgasms, right? And, you know, what spots might feel differently. Yes, that's great. Go after it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the basis, the root of orgasms are through the clitoral nerve network that stimulate those orgasms. Woohoo! Go ladies. And I'm all about women, right, being able to please themselves. And you know what? Even teaching your man, you know what, how you want to be touched, and how does that work, right, for you? Are you able to touch that? Are you able to be stimulated through those aspects? And are you able to be able to understand what is going on with those sensations? And can you teach your man how you want to be touched? If you want, you know, if you're rubbing your clitoris, if you would prefer it, you know, being rubbed side to side, up and down, or clockwise versus counterclockwise. Every woman is different, okay? But you know what? You can trial and error, and that could help. But why don't you teach your man and also let him watch you touch yourself? Oh my God, that's freaking hot, right? Most men would love that. There might be some men that might be spooked or intimidated about that, or jealous, right? Because he might not be able to, it's your body. You're not, no one's going to be able to touch you and know your body like you do. But I want you to teach it so your man can please you in that way, you know, even orally, and give you certain, you know, orgasms. And what is more powerful of an orgasm or a spot to hit than, right, try to practice. Try to relax and teach your man this. And if your man is unwilling to be taught, then maybe you're with the wrong partner, okay? Not only with men, maybe even, you know, women with, you know what, same-sex couples with women, you can teach each other, you know, these aspects. Where do you like to be touched? And if you don't know, you need to find out, because it's not fair to yourself, and it's not fair to your partner or your relationship or marriage to have an enhanced, you know what, a great, satisfying sex life, whatever that means to you. And if you don't learn, you don't touch, you don't experiment, you know what, you're going to have a mediocre sex life. You might come, you might have an orgasm, whatever, but it's not going to be to the part where you feel so emotionally explosive, if you will. Plus, you're not going to be able to share the emotional intimacy level of sharing that full-on experience with your partner. Now, what is getting in the way of you, you know what, even experimenting with yourself, touching yourself, you know what areas of your body, and you know you can't reach everywhere, right, because of the anatomy, where your fingers are and all that stuff. But are you able to experiment and be able to please yourself in the point to where, you know what, you can teach it how you want to be taught? And I tell men all the time, you know, if your lady allows you, great, I promote that. I want that very much for you. And you can watch, how does she touch herself? In what ways? You know what, and what pressure does she? What speeds? When she reaches, more close to orgasm, right? Does she go faster, harder, firmer, that type of thing? It's all important to teach your guy, not right away. You don't want him, freaking rubbing on your clitoral aspect or vaginal region, when you're not even stimulated, when you're not aroused. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel like sandpaper, and the guy goes right after it and you're not even aroused. And how many women have been there? I've heard from a ton of women, countless women, that they have been there. And that's a shame, because a guy should know your anatomy and learn about it and learn about the arousal, the buildup, maybe the tease aspect, the tease and please buildup aspect that, men can learn. And you know what I'm talking about, ladies, but you need to be able to teach your man that too, and be open and being able to express it. So, if there are any questions, I want you to be able to go after it, and I want you to be able to, look at, what helps you and what is able to help please you, and to be able to look at the elements that you want to be pleased. And you want to, it's great to look at different areas of the, the vaginal region, what areas you liked, how you like to be touched and all this stuff, and stimulated to reach the most powerful orgasm as possible. And not only orgasm, what about orgasms? You got me, ladies. If your guy don't know you, your partner doesn't know, you need to teach them you are multiple orgasmic, okay? Just like us men, we tend to be one and done for a little bit, refractory period. Women don't have that. When women reach an orgasm, they might need a minute just to desensitize a little bit, or it can be painful to go after and have not an orgasm, but to be touched again. You can, ooh, you get me, be very, very sensitive. Oh my God, don't touch me, don't touch me. Wait a minute or so, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then woman can be, most women are multiple orgasmic, okay? They can have multiple orgasms. And you can build up the flow of orgasms. As you know, women, it's like a flood of orgasms, where you can have, a little orgasm, a bigger orgasm, bigger, and you can build up the intensity of orgasms. But women, you need to know this within yourself and how to build those up to full exposure, where your body is shaking, shivering, your toes are curled, and you are just, exhausted. But also, I want you to be able to teach your man that, if he doesn't already know this, and to know your body. How is he going to know your body, right? Trial and error. Or is it better, or, quicker and easier, that you teach him what you like, how you want to be touched? And if he doesn't want to learn, I'm going to tell you, you're with the wrong partner. And that goes for same-sex female couples as well, too. If they're not willing to learn and know your body, or, maybe you need to be with someone that is willing to learn, or, also is willing to teach. So you need to be able to be open about this. And remember, orgasms, enjoy them. Embrace orgasms, lady. And those, the ladies out there that have been unfortunately raped and traumatized and sexually abused, it was about being empowered and being controlled. And it was about the abusers who did that to you, not about sex, okay? So I want you to feel empowered, not feeling guilty about having an orgasm and being able to rush. And we all know women, there's some women out there that scream and shake all over with their orgasm. There's women that do, shake and quiver. I'm all for it with their orgasm. And some women get very emotional when they have an orgasm and start, tearing up and start, being able to, release that emotional, maybe stress and pent up, and they start crying after an orgasm or during an orgasm. Don't be ashamed of that. And men, oh my God, did I hurt you? Did I hurt you? And a woman saying, yeah, you did, in a very, very good way. Right, ladies? So, teach your guy. Maybe sometimes you do get emotional and you start crying when you have an orgasm, but it's a pleasant cry, right? And it's a release. And I want you have power over your orgasm, ladies, not the guy. You have the power to release and allow yourself to be pleasured. Woohoo! What more would you want? So own it, right? Own your orgasms. Start learning about maybe orgasm intensity within you. What areas of your body produce the most powerful orgasms? How, to touch you, caress you, orally please you, that type of thing. Or if the penis hits a certain angle, through maybe, with the guy behind you, doggy style, hitting at, your G-spot area at the roof of your vaginal wall, behind the clit. Maybe that's more pleasurable for you, but this is where I want you to be able to, learn yourself and also teach your partner big time, okay? Like I said, if they're not willing to teach or not willing to learn, you might need to address that issue with them very much and what's going on. And if they don't ever want to evolve or grow, I'm sad to say, either you stay or you go, okay? It's your choice. So, again, orgasms. Female orgasms are all generated through the clitoral nerve network, okay? Share this video. I want you to be able to, embrace orgasms. I want you to be able to enjoy them. Not only, a little bit, oh, it was nice, but I want you to be able to have your world rocked with them where you quiver and shake. Big time, okay, ladies? And you allow yourself to be fully pleased in, enjoy multiple orgasms. Big time, okay? So, peace and love, people. Check out my website, theartofrelationships.org, and I'm going to give a little bit shout out. Oh, there's my latest book, Tools to Ignite Love and Intimacy. It's the enhanced edition. It came out maybe 4 months ago now. It is available on Amazon.com, an ebook or paperback as well, okay? And again, that's the Relationship Guide, Tools to Ignite Love and Intimacy. I haven't promoted that in a while or shown that in a while. So check it out on Amazon. And again, you know what? Everybody, peace and love out there. And you know what? Always, always to happy pleasuring. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.